What's up guys, and welcome back to another video and to the start of a mini series that I'm going to be starting on the channel for the next month or so called Recreating History. So we're going to be starting off this series at the Bahrain International Circuit, which played host to a fantastic Bahrain Grand Prix the other day. And as I'm sure all of you are aware, that man, Charles Leclerc, was on course to win his very first Grand Prix. So we are going to be recreating exactly what happened in that race. So the scenario that we have put ourselves in is that we are leading the Grand Prix by 10 seconds with 12 laps to go, but we have no ERS deployment. Now, of course, Leclerc in real life had a turbo issue, so we've tried to recreate that a little bit. And as I say, have no ERS available to us. So there you can see in the bottom right hand corner, we've also got a bit of a fuel problem as well. I believe Leclerc said after the race that he had to save fuel during the final 12 laps of the race. So as you can see, we've got fuel saving to do. We've got no ERS deployment, and we are going to see whether we can fend off the threat from behind from Valtteri Bottas, Max Verstappen and co. They're all prowling behind us on lap 3 of this 14-lap Grand Prix. And we are going to see where we can end up at the end of this race. Of course, the aim is going to be to win this Grand Prix. And as we fast forward onto the start of lap 4, it's looking alright for us because the cars behind are actually all battling with each other. Which is a little bit different to what happened in the real life Grand Prix. Of course, Lewis Hamilton was in P2 in the real life race and had about a 30-second gap to Valtteri Bottas. So, yeah, this is playing into our hands at the moment, but of course it is very early on in the Grand Prix. You can see here Pierre Gasly, a man who didn't have the greatest real-life Bahrain Grand Prix, is battling with his teammate Max Verstappen. They're going side by side through the middle sector, something which you don't see very often around this circuit, but they are still side by side as they go into turn 8 and towards the double left-hander of turn 9 and 10. And it looks as if Gasly is going to prevail, but no, Verstappen goes all the way round the outside. But no, indeed, Gasly does go down his inside. And all that battling means that as we come to lap 6, which is the lap where we're going to make our one and only pit stop of the Grand Prix, we're looking okay at the moment. You can see the gap behind to Valtteri Bottas is now 2.6 seconds, sorry, 2.36 seconds. And bearing in mind, it was 10 seconds on lap 3 of this Grand Prix. That shows you exactly how much time you lose by not having any ERS deployment. You can also see that the fuel saving is going okay, but it's not going brilliantly at the moment. We've still got pretty much 2/3 of a lap's worth of fuel to make up in the final half of this Grand Prix. But yeah, we come in for our one and only stop of this race to fit the soft compound tyres, which is equivalent to the medium compound in the real-life 2019 season. But let's not confuse things. Let's just call them the soft tyres for the meantime. And we come out from the pit lane. It looks as if all the drivers that we're going to be battling have stayed out for an extra lap. So we've emerged behind Kimi Raikkonen. And this is going to be really interesting to see whether we can actually keep up with an Alfa Romeo car or the likes of the Alfa Romeo, despite having no ERS deployment. Now we skip further on into lap 7, coming towards the final sector, and you can see that the gap to Raikkonen has pretty much kept the same. So it's at 1 second, and hopefully we can actually get just about within DRS range of the Finn as we come onto the end of lap 7, which should help us try and get out ahead of Valtteri Bottas for the second stint of the race. We are just about within DRS range. We're going to get as much slipstream from Raikkonen as we can. And now you can see Bottas and Sebastian Vettel and co are emerging from the pit lane. And we go past as Charles Leclerc into turn 1. And we just about emerge in the lead of this Grand Prix. The gap it's got to be under 2 seconds now as we go into the final 7 laps of this Grand Prix. It's going to be very, very interesting, and we are going to get to battle all of the top 5 pretty much, which is going to be very, very interesting to see. And now we plough into the middle sector. We've got a 1.3 second gap to Valtteri Bottas. And as we skip further on into lap 8, he is right on our tail. And as we come through to the penultimate straight on this Bahrain circuit, surely Bottas is going to have a look at us. And we do actually have a DRS detection point into this final corner, so we're going to let Bottas get past us, because there is no chance of us staying ahead of him if he gets the DRS. But he actually makes a mistake into that final corner as well. And we're going to have the DRS. We're going to try and get out of the slipstream of Bottas. But our teammate Sebastian Vettel is also going to come alongside us at the start of lap 9. We go right to the inside. And we're going to try and push the drivers out as much as possible. And Bottas sweeps all the way around the outside of us, showing exactly how much pace he has compared to us on the exit of turn 3 there. And Bottas is ahead of us, and I don't think we can really do anything to fight it. We went up into rich mix momentarily, which seemed to do absolutely nothing, and now we have got to fend off the threat from our teammate Sebastian Vettel. So Vettel actually goes a bit wide there and goes off the circuit, but he has gone down the inside of us into turn 8, and we are just helpless at the moment. Hopefully we will be able to battle some of the drivers behind, and we are actually just within DRS range of Sebastian Vettel. So we may have to use a little bit of our fuel here, which of course we don't have a lot of, just to try and battle Sebastian for the meantime. You can see they're closing in on him just a little bit in that DRS zone. But this is the bit that kills us. Off the exit of corners, we have absolutely no speed whatsoever. Bearing in mind we're in rich mix, and we can't keep up with our teammate whatsoever. We're doing this challenge on Ultimate AI as well. So it's the same AI setting that I run for all of my career modes. It's not as if I've dumbed down the AI or anything or bumped it up. This is literally as my pace, like my normal pace would be able to keep up with my teammate. And we just cannot do that. But we do have the DRS now, which means that we can keep up with Sebastian Vettel. And looking back from Vettel's rear wing, you can see we are closing in into turn 1 on lap 10. We tried to go down the inside of Sebastian Vettel, and I think it has actually worked. So somehow we've managed to combat him by braking extremely late, but surely Vettel, who's in the slipstream, is going to go down our inside now into turn 4. There have been brilliant battles in the real-life Grand Prix at this corner, but it is Sebastian Vettel who prevails this time. We can do nothing to stop him, and although we're right on his tail now, it's going to be so difficult to stay with him for any longer. And now we've actually got to try and fend off the threat from behind from Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. So we're demoted into P3 for the meantime, and I think we're just too far back from Vettel this time to pose any sort of threat. And to be honest, we can't afford to be bumping it up into rich mix all the time, because we literally just don't have the fuel to be doing it. And now as we go towards the end of this middle sector, through the sweeping left-right of turns 11, 12 and now 13, we are over a second behind Sebastian Vettel and just 0.2 of a second ahead of Max Verstappen. So Verstappen closes in on us, and we're going to do the same as we did to Bottas. Let him get ahead into the DRS detection point and try and fight him there. But you can see, once again, Verstappen making a mistake into that final corner. He does manage to stay ahead of us this time, but the AI just don't like going down the inside in that final corner. They just oversteer every time. But fortunately, we do manage to use the DRS to good effect and stay ahead of Hamilton and get ahead of Verstappen. And somehow, Verstappen has lost 2 positions there in that corner by being a bit naive and going down our inside into the DRS detection point. And Hamilton has gone down our inside into turn 4, but we cut back underneath him, and a brilliant move there from ourselves on lap 11 of this Grand Prix, and we are somehow just about clinging on to P3 in this race. This is just going to go on right to the flag. You can see it now, and just using the same tactic once again on lap 11, letting Hamilton go down the inside and taking the DRS and also taking the position. The AI just not good at all into the final corner, which is really helping us. And we go right to the inside of the track at the start of lap 12 to get out of any sort of slipstream. Not allow any sort of slipstream for the drivers behind. And that does work to our effect, as Hamilton and Verstappen having a little battle behind, which is really helping us. And this is turning out alright for us at the moment, having a brilliant battle with the 2 guys behind us. And you can see just in the distance there, the 2 Renaults of Hülkenberg and Ricciardo are actually closing up to us now, which just shows how slow we are going in this race. Just over 2 laps left now in this Bahrain Grand Prix. It's been a very exciting one. how this would have been great to see Hamilton and Leclerc fighting with each other in the real life race. And of course Leclerc could do nothing to stop Hamilton from getting past him, but we just about have enough pace to stay ahead of Hamilton and Verstappen, who are once again fighting with each other, and the DRS has just kept us ahead for another lap. We go very deep there into turn 1, and through turns 2 and 3 we just about stay ahead of Verstappen, who is now going to go to the outside of the track at turn 4. Hamilton's also going to take a look at us, and is Verstappen going to go all the way around the outside? Are we going to push him off the track? No, we're going to leave him the room there on the outside, which means we're going to be going side by side now through turn 6 and 7, and we just about stay ahead of the Dutchman and live to fight another lap. A lap and a half to go. That's all we've got. Just look at the gap ahead to Vettel and Bottas. It is massive, but we don't care because we are still fighting for P3 in this Grand Prix. As we go on to the final lap now, we're about to start the final lap. Verstappen gets ahead of us and this time stays ahead. So we've got a real battle on our hands now to get ahead of him in this DRS zone and keep Lewis Hamilton behind us. Verstappen starts to go to the inside of the track, and Hamilton also did so. So that caught us unawares a little bit. We're going to dive it all the way down the inside of the both of them. And we are going to be side by side now with Lewis Hamilton through turn 2. But we just about stay ahead. And Hamilton is a long way back now because he is fighting with Verstappen, Ricciardo and Hülkenberg, which has given us a little bit of breathing room. Verstappen and Hamilton now going side by side into turn 5, 6 and 7. Who is going to come out ahead? I don't really care because whoever comes out on top, they're hurting their own race because they can't close up to ourselves. They're too busy fighting each other, which allows us to streak off into the distance. And I don't believe that whoever is the driver that was behind into the DRS detection point is actually going to get DRS on ourselves, which means we have got over a second gap on Max Verstappen because, yes, he can't use any DRS whatsoever. But of course you would expect him to close up to us in those final couple of straights just because he's so much quicker than us. And there you can see Verstappen has already closed up as we come now through turn 13 for the final time. The penultimate straight in this Grand Prix. Verstappen is going to be closing up to us. Is he going to make a move into the final corner? No, he is not. He's going to stick behind. And as we come through turns 14 and 15, we are just about going to cling on to P3, are we? Yes, we are. Wow, what a challenge that was. I'm glad that I picked that challenge because that turned into a fantastic battle and a thoroughly enjoyable Bahrain Grand Prix where we managed to get Charles Leclerc into P3, which of course he managed to get in the real life Grand Prix, but we actually managed to have some battles, which I would have loved to see Leclerc do in real life. But what a race that was. If you did enjoy it, do make sure to leave a like. And let me know down in the comments what other challenges like this you'd like to see me do. I've got a few in mind, but yeah, let me know down in the comments and I'll try and get round to doing some of them. So there you can see the final race results. It was Bottas from Vettel from Leclerc, with Verstappen and Hamilton in behind. And even the Renaults managed to close up to us at the end. But yeah, as I mentioned, guys, if you've enjoyed this sort of video, do make sure to leave a like. And I'll catch you guys in my next video. Do take care. Bye-bye.